All right, if you want to grow and scale your consulting business, you're in the right place. I got a question recently from someone asking, what are the different ways that I can actually scale or grow my consulting business? And I thought I'd share a few of the ways that you can do this. Some of them are well known, others not so much, and could actually present a really interesting opportunity for you. So the first thing, I mean, this is pretty straightforward, but I'll go over it because I think it's important. One way to grow your business, right, is just more clients. But how do you do that? Well, there's different ways to think about getting more clients. You can productize your offers, meaning that you are essentially solving the same problem over and over again, right? You shift your business model. Most consultants start consulting with a value-based approach, meaning that, and not a volume-based approach, meaning that they work with fewer clients, but every client is worth a lot more. So larger engagements and fewer of them. But over time, if you want to grow your business, if you want to scale it, and by scaling, really what I mean is not only are you growing the revenue and ideally the profitability of the business or the profit you take from the business, but you're also shifting a reliance away from you as the founder. So there's less reliance on you, right? It's more to your team. The business can operate, can function without your day-to-day involvement, or it's less reliant on you. Because if 100% of the business relies on you, meaning that if you go on holiday or you're sick, right, something comes up and you can't work and you therefore don't make money, you don't really have a business, you have a job. And I don't mean that to be rude, but it's the reality. So if you want to build a real business, if you want to scale a business, you need to think about what are the systems, what is the infrastructure, what do you actually need to be able to grow a business that doesn't fully rely on you? And that's where kind of the whole idea of scalability comes in. So productizing is a great way to do that. And it's by shifting the model from being focused on working with fewer people at higher price points to working with more people. Now, when productization first kind of became popular and people started really talking about it, it tended to be selling things like courses or low-priced products. All right, therefore productization. But it's really changed. If you look at a lot of very established, large, successful consulting firms, many of them bring productization into their business, and the price point for their productized offers in many cases can be $25,000, $50,000, $75,000, $100,000. So it's not only now about productization being a volume-based business, but the idea is that by productizing, you have the ability, the capability to scale it. Because productization, by definition, is about you solving the same or very similar problem over and over again, delivering the same result by using the same method, system, or process. That means it can scale. That means that you typically don't need as senior level people pushing all the buttons because it's not all customized. You can have people that at the mid and in some cases even junior levels who you train to do the work that needs to be done because the same thing is happening over and over again, right? So a great way to scale is through productization. That can also lead to you growing your team. And I'm not a big fan of just growing your team for the sake of growing your team. We have many very successful clients at Consulting Success who are in our Clarity Coaching program who are, making $300,000, $500,000, $750,000 per year as solo independent consultants. So they have a great business and they have no desire to grow their team. That's okay, but it also means that in the current format, they're not going to select adding more team members. So what's my point? My point is that if you want to grow a business that can operate without you, meaning that it can serve clients, it can generate revenue without your day-to-day direct involvement, there's a good chance that you're going to need to build your team. Now, it doesn't mean you have to build a big team, but you likely will need to bring in some people to help you to make things happen. So if you want more clients, in many cases, that may mean that you also need to grow your team, but don't rush just to hire a whole bunch of people. Really think through your model. Think about who do you need in what specific area. And if you've productized your offer, there's a very good chance that you don't actually need to go out and hire senior level people right away. Now, another way to think about kind of bringing on more clients is to expand your client geography, right? Maybe right now you're focusing on working with people in your local area. You might go beyond that and work with people, in a different country or a different part of your country. That's another way to do it. And then the other way to bring on more clients is to actually expand your client type. So maybe what you've been focusing on right now is working with, chief marketing officers in consumer packaged goods, companies, CPG companies. Well, you might expand that and say, well, our offering could actually help CMOs in different types of organizations, not only CPG. We actually think that we can help clients in the media business, or we can help people in professional services or whatever it might be. And so you can expand, right, your offering to work with similar types of people, or in some cases, even different people, as long as the problem that you are an expert in solving is applicable to them. Now, the other way that you can actually scale and grow your business is just to sell more to existing clients. And you can either do that by selling additional products or services to your existing clients. An example might be that You go in right now, you do some kind of an assessment, and you take people through, let's just call it a 6-month program. That is your typical, maybe it's a sales acceleration program that you have, and you help sales teams and salespeople to produce and to sell more. But there may be a need for them to also have additional coaching. There may be a need for them to have customization of their sales based CRM, or maybe there's an opportunity for you to deliver additional workshops on email marketing, right? Or on consultative sales. Maybe you have the ability to offer services around marketing. And you need to be very thoughtful about this, because you don't want to get into the habit of just expanding your business and expanding your offerings just to make more money, but at the same time diluting your brand and creating more complexity in your business. So I'm sharing with you different ways that you can grow your business, but you need to be thoughtful about what are the right ones for you. The name of the game here, or the real concept that I would say is the most important one for you to remember, is customer or client lifetime value, right? Your goal should be to think about how can you increase the lifetime value of that client. Maybe right now, your average client is worth $25,000, but by expanding what you're selling to that client, by offering them additional products or services that create more value for them, and therefore they want to invest in, right? Maybe it's ongoing monthly coaching. Maybe it's, again, some technology product. Maybe it's bringing in a partnership that you've made with somebody else that can provide additional services to your current clients, and you get a percentage of that. What you're doing is you're expanding the lifetime value. So now when you land one client, they're not worth on average $25,000 to you, but maybe now they're worth $45,000 to you. Right? And so if you think about that and you kind of multiply that by the number of clients that you tend to bring on per year, right, you can start to see how that actually adds up, in most cases, if done right, quite a bit of additional profit for your business. Now, another way that you can scale your business is by increasing your prices. And this can come in many different ways, right? This could be that you increase the price of your initial assessment or audit. This could be that you increase the price of your overall, kind of larger full engagement. It might be that you change your pricing strategy and model. Maybe you start off in doing hourly fees, and then you did product-based rates. And now maybe you shift to a monthly retainer, or you shift to value-based or even performance-based, where you get paid based on set kind of targets that you are working to achieve beyond a baseline. Each of these, right, can add significant additional revenue for your business. And this is why, for most consultants, if you want to grow your business, before you really do anything else, you should ask the question of, can you charge more for what you're delivering? And this is not a question of just trying to extract more money from people for the sake of it. It's all about the value, right? If you're delivering great value, and let's just make this very simple. Let's say that right now your average engagement is $50,000, and the value for your client is that when you work with them, it ends up creating $1 million of additional profits for them within 12 to 18 months. Do you think you could charge more than $50,000? Well, heck yeah, of course you could, because if they're generating over $1 million in profits within 12 to 18 months and you're charging $50,000 right now, right, you could probably double your fee, therefore charging them $100,000, and it would still be a 10 times plus return on their investment, which is fantastic. So you could increase your fees considerably as long as the value is there. And so you want to look at, am I not capturing the full value of what I'm delivering? And how might I adjust my positioning and how I communicate value so that buyers are not only willing, but actually excited to invest more? And keep this in mind, that charging more doesn't mean that fewer people will be interested in working with you. In some cases, charging lower fees actually scares people away, because they think, if this is so low compared to other options in the marketplace, there must be something wrong with it, right? Lower prices tends to mean inferior quality. At least that's the belief that most people have. So by charging higher fees, you're actually giving a perception of higher quality. And as long as you can deliver the value to support that, increasing your fees is one of the best things that you can do to grow your business. Why? Because in almost all situations, increasing your fees drops right down to your bottom line, giving you a lot more profit. What else can you do to grow and scale your business? Think about how you can partner with complementary companies. And this can happen in a few different formats. So I just talked about the idea of increasing lifetime value. And so in that situation, it might be partnering with, let's just say you're a sales consultant, you partner with a technology consultant that can customize and help to implement, let's say, a CRM. Well, your engagement makes you, let's say, $50,000. Now, this other consultant comes in and helps to either improve or set up a proper CRM for that sales team that you've been working with. And maybe their fee for that is $30,000, but then you have a referral arrangement with them where you get $5,000 or $10,000 of that. So you're making more money, right? They're happy because they're being brought in. There's no cost for them to acquire the client. They don't have to spend money on marketing. It's a win-win for everyone. The client gets greater value as well. So that's one way to think about, right? Connecting yourself with others that provide complementary products and services that you can bolt on or offer to your clients, either directly through your company or simply by making an introduction and then deciding on whether you want to have a referral fee or arrangement connected to that. Now, the other thing that can happen is not necessarily related to direct revenue generation, although it does generate a lot more revenue and profit for you going forward. It's simply connecting yourself with others that can put you in front of your ideal clients. That generates more leads. I'll give you an example. Let's say that you partner with a law firm, and that law firm has a lot of clients that are in the pharmaceutical industry, and you've done that intentionally and strategically because your ideal clients are pharmaceutical companies. Well, they introduce you or they bring you in to give a presentation to their client base. That generates leads and conversations for you, and that brings in more business for you, right? It's a win-win. Likewise, you work with pharmaceutical companies. You might refer or connect those pharmaceutical companies to this law firm that you know that serves pharmaceutical companies. That's just one example, right? You can do this with law firms, accounting firms. You can do this with design or branding firms. You can do this with different technology providers. You can do this with industry associations, right? And the list goes on and on and on. But just ask yourself and think about who else has access to your ideal clients and what kind of partnership could you form with them that could be a win-win for all parties involved. And another thing you can do here is to create or to license your IP, right? So IP stands for intellectual property. If you have a body of work, if you have intellectual property, maybe you've developed a methodology that when a certain type of client or company or person uses or goes through, they will see a consistent level of results, or they will be able to solve a specific type of problem. You could go in and deliver, and as a consulting engagement, work with that organization, one by one as a kind of a standard typical consulting arrangement. But you might also, as an example, find that that company, the client that you're working with, is a very large company. And you actually don't have the ability nor the desire to fly all around the world doing the exact same kind of work throughout that whole organization. Let's just say maybe they have, 200,000 employees and they have 20 offices around the world. So you may decide that in fact, it makes sense for you to license your methodology or license your program, to that organization so that that organization can actually use it themselves. And so they pay you a fee, typically an annual fee, to use your intellectual property because they know that it works. Now, there's lots of different ways that you can structure this. It can be that you license your IP directly to, a client company. It can be that you approach companies you've never even worked with before and you sell them or license them, I should say, the IP. It can be through strategic partnerships. It might be that you actually license your IP to other consultants or other providers or companies that then use that IP and as part of their engagements or what they sell to their clients. This is an area that definitely requires a lot of thought and nuance, and you need to protect your IP. So there's a lot of considerations here, but when done well, and we've seen many clients that we've worked with apply this over the years, it can actually add a very significant, in some ways, passive revenue stream for your business. Now, I'll give you a few other kind of ideas and ways you can generate revenue or scale your business that you may not be thinking of. So one is books, right? You can write books, and I'll tell you that right now, I've written several books, audio books as well. If you go to Amazon.com and you type in consulting success or you type in Michael Zapersky, you will see some of the books that I've written. If you're on Audible, we also have a couple of our books on Audible. Every single month, right, we get paid from Amazon and Audible. Like they send us commission checks or however you want to call it, but we get money and it adds up to a fair bit of money every single year. We don't do anything, right? The books have been written. The audio books have been recorded. As I write new books and put them out, right, that'll just keep adding to it. But it's very passive, right? It does its own work. That's kind of an example of you create it once. And then as long as you put it into the right distribution channel, it can just keep working for you over and over again. So books, audiobooks, a similar thing with videos. Our intention with our YouTube channel back in the day was not to monetize it and make money from it. And I'll just be very, transparent with you. We don't make a lot of money from it, but it adds up. Like it's thousands of dollars that come in from the YouTube channel because we've built up to whatever it is right now, 20,000 plus subscribers. And YouTube obviously makes money by showing ads to some of those people that watch those videos. And so we get a payment every single month from YouTube for the content that we create. I'll tell you 100%, this is not why I make these videos. It's not enough to make it worthwhile, but it adds up, right? So you can create courses, and there's different course platforms you can put your courses onto, but you can also create courses and then offer those courses directly to your ideal clients. I mean, that's what we did with one of our courses. It's called Momentum. It's for early stage consultants, and we've updated over the years. But I remember way back in the day when we first started selling courses and offering courses, it was very interesting because you create something once and you can continue to sell it over and over again, or you can offer it throughout the year or different times. I won't call it passive because it still requires work to be able to obviously build it and sell it and promote it, right? Launch it, everything that comes together with that. Maybe I'll actually make a video about how to launch a course or a product in an upcoming YouTube video, or maybe there'll be one linked here by the time this goes live. But courses are interesting because you already have the knowledge, right? I've seen this with several of our clients that we've worked with who have taken essentially what they provide to their clients in kind of custom one-to-one engagements, and they've productized that into a course. And now instead of just having one client at a time go through that, they actually enroll, employees or managers or executives in organizations into that program. And they run it every month or every quarter or a few times a year. But instead of just having one-to-one, they might have 20 people come into this course paying thousands of dollars each time. And so it can become a very nice, lucrative channel for you. There's many ways for you to scale and to add additional kind of revenue streams, some that are more active, some that are more passive. But that's the beauty of business, is that when you are creative, when you look at how you can take your expertise, how you can deliver more value to the marketplace, you can almost always find ways to earn significantly more from that. And so whether you're an early stage consultant looking to get to your first, $250,000 per year, or you're doing 750,000 per year, or you're at 750,000, you want to get a 3 million plus per year, we have different programs and levels and ways to work and support you as a consultant. And we've done that with over 1,000 plus consultants. So head over to consultingsuccess.com or click below this video if you want to learn more and access additional resources or inquire about coaching and how we can help you in your specific situation to grow and take your business to that next level.